Journey to Makkah. Assalamu alaikum. This was a deeply spiritual journey of mine. In a podcast, I shared my experiences, and now I'm narrating them to you exactly as they were. My name is Sheikh Mehdi, and I am one of those blessed souls who had the chance to see Makkah with the eyes of the heart. I'm sure you will enjoy this journey as much as I did. Have you ever thought about what it feels like to step into the oldest city on earth? Can you feel the warmth of all the prophets and angels when you touch the Kaaba, the house of Allah? How is it possible that you find yourself treating every stranger around you with more gentleness than your own brother? It's all a feeling, a divine emotion that embraces your body, mind, and soul when you are blessed to visit the Kaaba and the sacred city of Makkah. A fortunate journey by the grace of Allah. I had the chance to accompany my mother and grandparents on this spiritual journey, a journey that allowed me to rediscover myself, my faith and my ummah, in a way deeper and more vivid than ever before. At first, we were not even sure if we could make it. The day before our flight, a Saudi diplomat was killed in Dhaka, which created a cloud of uncertainty. Then, after arriving in Jeddah, we were stuck inside a Boeing 747 for more than 2 hours without any explanation. Still, I must admit, the Saudi government always shows great respect to the pilgrims who come for Hajj or Umrah. From Jeddah to Makkah. Jeddah is the nearest airport to Makkah, about 90 kilometers away. But my first impression of the Arabian land was not entirely pleasant. Outside the airport, a group of men who barely understood English took our passports and handed us over to a taxi driver, one we had no choice but to go with, and of course at an overcharged fare. This, it seems, has become a common experience for many pilgrims. They recognize you instantly from your ihram, and tired as you are, you can only agree. Our driver, however, was a cheerful Arab who drove his Hyundai Elantra at 135 km/h. So we just smiled and said, all right, let's get to the Kaaba. The moment, my first glimpse of the Kaaba. The first wonder that struck me upon reaching Makkah was the people. It was 3 a.m., yet thousands were awake, walking, talking, and eating around the haram. That's when I realized Makkah never sleeps. After freshening up, we went straight for Umrah, and then came that moment, my first sight of the Kaaba, that sacred place toward which billions of Muslims bow their heads before Allah. Words fail to describe the feeling. Tears poured from the depths of my heart, and I whispered, Allahu Akbar. For days afterward, I would sit near the Kaaba just to observe the same emotion on the faces of others, no matter if they were European or African, young or old, strong or disabled. The Kaaba is a place where everything stops, except the praise of Allah. The rituals of Umrah. The rituals of Umrah are simple. Perform tawaf, 7 circles around the Kaaba, then sa'i, walking between Safa and Marwa, in remembrance of Lady Hajar, peace be upon her, who ran in search of water for her son, Prophet Ismail, peace be upon him. And don't forget to drink Zamzam water, so refreshing it feels like a blessing entering your soul. After this, men shave their heads and women cut a few inches of hair, and the Umrah is complete. Then you can change out of your ihram and move freely. Life in Makkah is beautifully simple. You pray, recite Quran, make dua, eat, and wander around the haram, just watching people. Nowhere else in the universe will you find such a gathering of people united by one faith. I spent countless hours sitting in the mataf, the white marble courtyard around the Kaaba, simply observing humanity, and every moment was mesmerizing. Visiting the sacred sites after Fajr prayer, taxi drivers would call out, Ziyarah, Ziyarah, meaning short trips to the holy sites. We joined one of them. The first stop was Jabal al-Thawr, where the Prophet and his companion Abu Bakr took refuge during the migration to Medina. The mountain was steep and difficult to climb, yet the Prophet stayed there for 3 days. Then we visited Mina, Muzdalifah and Arafat, the plain where the Day of Judgment will take place. Standing at the spot from where my Prophet delivered his farewell sermon, I was speechless. Later we climbed Jabal al-Nur, on top of which lies the cave of Hira, where the first revelation was brought by the angel Jibril, A.S. Touching these places filled my heart with awe. A thought struck me repeatedly. Lady Khadija, R.A., at the age of 65, climbed this steep mountain to bring food to her beloved husband, the Prophet. Was it only her physical strength? No, it was her love and spiritual devotion. No wonder she is the only human being to whom Allah himself sent greetings of peace through Jibreel, A.S. Climate, people and food. Makkah is surrounded by mountains, but the heat of the desert sun is intense. It was difficult to go out during midday, especially around Dur. However, unlike Bangladesh, there was no sweat. The air was completely dry. Meeting people from all over the world was an amazing experience. Turkish, Iranian and Indonesian pilgrims were the majority. They performed tawaf in large groups, holding hands, often carrying flags of their countries. A beautiful expression of unity, even if sometimes inconvenient for others. Sadly, most of the cleaners and sweepers at the Grand Mosque were from Bangladesh, a humbling sight. Food, a journey of flavors for food lovers. Makkah is unforgettable. Restaurants were always crowded. So a shawarma roll with chicken or prawns, fries and coleslaw, only 2 riyals, became every pilgrim's favorite breakfast. Kabsa, the Arabian version of biryani, was delicious too, but Arab food was much milder than our spicy South Asian dishes. My grandparents didn't quite enjoy the local taste, so we went back to our own rice and lentils. In the Misfalah area near the Haram, Bangladeshi restaurants served everything, even mola fish and spinach curry. Conclusion: a rebirth of faith, truly. Makkah is the place where every Muslim feels safer than in their own home. As the Prophet said, a woman will travel 1,000 miles alone, fearing none but Allah. Makkah is the living proof of that hadith. Every Muslim should pray that Allah grants them at least one visit to his house, the Kaaba. My faith, my belief, my soul, everything was reborn there. I can still see that first breathtaking sight of the Kaaba before my eyes, and my heart whispers the same words even now. Subhanallah. What a blessing it was.